Hello and welcome to the Wholesale Sales Training. In this video, we will see a complete training so that you can configure the platform according to the needs of your business. This training is quite extensive and will cover all areas of the platform. So if you need to advance in a certain area because you already know it, you can use the following content in the video description timeline and select the section that interests you. Let's not waste any more time, let's go. With the demonstration of the clothing store that I have, we can see all the sections that the customer will find when he arrives. At the store, we can find the point of sale section. You can see this is if someone wants to buy a product from the end consumer, they can, for example, find a Rosario and then find a point of sale. For your product, the customer will definitely want to try a piece of clothing. You can go and try it on so you can introduce the customer to your customer. The section on how to buy is very important. Who are we? This is a button that you can generate to be able to send it directly to the customer if you have a retail store. We use it to send to wholesale sales. Then you will find banners. You can use banners with videos, photos. They can link to products, categories, or search. Being able to send clients directly to search sends it, and when it's closed, all clients are taken away from search with the title cleaned up so that they can navigate. You have a category menu with subcategories. We'll filter, t-shirts. We can also search directly from a t-shirt, and you'll find all items with that name. Or if the code is also available, I can search through the code and find that product. If a customer browses and starts looking at categories, they connect together, and then you can browse the entire catalog at once. Very simple method, without having to do any type of pagination. It's super simple, super dynamic, and this way customers can browse through all categories the same when they enter a product. You will be able to see all the conditions, codes, descriptions, etc. of the products. But you will have to register before you can buy or see the prices. In this case, you have to register in the wholesale registry, or just click on the button above. The title will take you to the registration form that is only for wholesale users. Then we will put an email here that will be able to show you a little bit what the registration form looks like. In Argentina, he will ask you for pounds. In other cases, he will ask you for the tax status of your country. It will also ask you for a phone number that will be automatically corrected according to the country with a valid number. Then the system can do a lot of things. Among other things, when setting up the account, you will receive an email with a verification code, which helps us to make sure that you have entered the email correctly. So once I enter the code I can enter, why do I say yes? Because the system has two options. One is what we call open registration, which means that you can register and now you can access your prices and you will be able to start buying. Or there is an option of closed registration, which means that you have to approve its registration. If you want to approve the registration, once you have completed the registration, you will receive a confirmation message that you have to wait for the verification, and you will be able to see it in the admin. This client still needs to be verified, and once it is successfully verified, the system will send you an email notifying you that you have, hey, I have visited your store. Customers are already registered. Just enter and log in with your username and password, and when you are logged in, you will be able to see that. If you enter the price of the product, you will obviously have options available. You will see that there is a bar below. If you want to repeat the order, you have to repeat the order here. Previous orders and a column that shows how much is left until the minimum purchase. All these minimum purchase conditions and automatic discounts that we're going to see, we're going to go into them in depth later, but you can set it up the way you need it. In this case, he's asking for 250,000 Argentine pesos. We're going to add some articles. We're adding 400,000 pesos here, this product, to But please note that some products are out of stock. Customers can up so that when you restock this product, we'll send it to you. Automatically email your customers and you know which products a lot of people are waiting for. Maybe it will recover. Let's sign up to receive notifications about these products as well. I'm going to add an order, and when I add it, the bar is already red, and it tells me that if I add X amount more, I can get a discount. What we're going to add is that there are a lot of products out of stock here. We're going to add something here as well. We will add 10 more. Please note that I received a 20% discount. We will stop the purchase there. I will continue. Next, I will go to my order. I will see the order total, all the possible discounts and surcharges. In the last step, I will be able to see the so-called notification at checkout, and you will be able to see that this is my terms of sale. The order is processed as follows. You can tell him that the stock can depend on the confirmation and the message you need to communicate. It is always important to communicate in all places as much as possible. There are other steps. You can communicate your situation again so that the customer understands everything clearly and can leave. Rest assured that the process will continue as indicated. You will get the billing data. You can view it, edit it, the payment and shipping method that you can request for the first purchase or in subsequent purchases, once agreed. As in the case of this customer, you have already purchased before and have already agreed on the payment and shipping. If you want, then you can do so. When editing, the system tells you that this must be done by the company under review, but it must be confirmed, and in the case of shipping, you will be able to choose an address. If you have registered shipping, you can load another one. This is for customers who have multiple branches. You can set up different addresses from the branches. Repeat orders send the order to different branches. I will leave it at this address, reviews, discount coupons. If you want to set up coupons, you can offer specific coupons to customers. We will see it later. And then the summary, so that the customer confirms and places the order. That's what the customer needs to do. Great, let's go leave a review. Perfect, we'll send it. That's what the customer needs to do. So you will receive the order by email with all the details of your order, so you can withdraw the order and close your account. But first, we're going to take a look at the customer profile, what a customer can do in your store. If you access your profile, you will be able to see your username and password. You will be able to modify your tax conditions. In this case, you are the final consumer. The delivery address can also be the same as the point of sale. It can appear on your map. If someone wants to buy final consumer goods, they can go to your store. It also has a complete order history that you can access. You can search for them. This is the last order we placed. Your tracking status, we will also see later. Tracking status of each order. In this case, there are 2 new orders, where all orders can be downloaded as PDF, or you can click on duplicate order to easily repeat it, and then finally, if you need the catalog for any reason, you can download it from here. There is your entire catalog, and you can print it as a PDF or as you wish. You can see below, I have only covered a little bit, but below is the entire client. Managing your orders and accessing information about your orders is very easy. There are earrings. Okay, now let's see how to access the store from the admin. We are going to enter from the same place that the customers enter, but we are going to enter with the admin username and password. So that way we will see that the user that stays loaded as a manager. We also have the admin button so that you can access as an administrator what we can do. Notice that the view is very similar to the client side, but we have some issues managing the system. If we look at it from the admin side, it allows us from what we see now, the store side is very similar to the client side. But we have tools like sorting. For example, this allows us to move product orders and confirm. We can do this across all categories. I need to sort the different categories. I am free to do this and confirm with the same button that we'll be ordering. Products. I also have the option to place an order to a customer. Select the customer, start. The system is going to load the customer's conditions of sale. Then we will see how to customize the customer's conditions of sale and price list. Enjoy special discounts, but in this case I do it to be able to use the system to accept orders from customers. This works for both the administrator and the system. Sellers. Once the customer has completed the top-up, the purchase begins. The purchase is made in the same way as for customers. After adding the items, you will see the progress bar fill up. Once it is finished, you can place the order. Once the order reaches the administrator, you will receive an email. You will receive the order as if you had placed an order with the customer, and the customer will also receive an email. It is a useful tool when you need to order quickly, or you are at a trade show, or you have to solve it there. It can be used without the client. You have to load the client first. There, you will be able to place orders on behalf of your customers. Okay, now I'm going to access the administrator view. Click on the administrator. Note that you can switch from the store administrator to the entire exchanger. I will be able to access all the system settings. The first screen you see is the indicator screen. It gives me an overview of my sales. I can start setting up my system. Okay, let's take a look at the overall picture of the business. In the configuration access, the first tab is General. In this tab, you can upload your company name, a short description. When searching for the business on Google, to get your company name and description from there. The contact emails are those visible in the store. The action emails. These are very, very important because they will receive the orders. So in either case, you can add as many as you want. You can add anything you want, such as social networks, addresses. If you need to build your page, when you launch it, the page will be in a building state, and they will not be able to place orders unless you return it. Deactivate. Next, the wholesale section. This is one of the most important parts of the system. Notice the first one is products. This is the general configuration of the products. I can decide how to manage prices, how to manage inventory. How will I manage the assembly orders that I will see later in the order? How do I generate the order for my orders? Deposit. Next page, conditions of sale. We will outline the basic conditions of sale. This is what I tell you. There is always a basis. Every new customer can enjoy these conditions, like my minimum purchase, basic discount. If there are special customers, I can give them conditions beyond these, but here it is important to give a basis. So in this case, minimum purchase, replacement. In this case, if the customer has already purchased, they can get a smaller replacement if some time has passed since you placed the order, because he did not buy again after the first purchase. The minimum purchase will reset the replacement and will ask you to pay the initial minimum purchase amount again. Then we have the possibility to change the quantity conditions. I cannot ask to enter the purchase amount, quantity, or combine them. This is more advanced. For example, if I want to deposit at least 100 units and 500,000 peso, then the customer must meet both of these conditions to send you the order. And then we have the automatic discount section that we saw before. The discount step that is being generated. I can do it by amount or by number of units and determine all the steps that I want to generate. In this case, by amount, these discounts will be generated. Payment and shipment. I will be able to determine. See my payment and shipment in a super simple way. I can choose from the available options or build it. I can create Bitcoin. I don't know. I want to pay with Bitcoin. It's popular now. I can say that. No problem. They are offline payment methods, which means that I can write whatever I want, even surcharges or discounts that will be applied when the customer chooses this payment method. Surcharges, discounts will be applied according to the configuration we have here. But these are offline payment methods. That is, the customer does not go, will not pay. It will simply tell you that it needs this shipping payment method. And then the first communication will close this payment method, shipping and billing method. You have been doing this. In the next question, this will be handled manually. No. But we have the option to connect Mercado Pago to your Mercado Pago account. In this case, the payment method is Mercado Pago. Customers can pay online. It's very good to enable Mercado Pago. Take a look at the help here. Everything is explained clearly. This will activate a system that allows you to collect, refund, or request additional money in case a customer asks you for additional goods ready to sell wholesale. The good news is that your Mercado Pago account remains connected. If the customer pays, it means that the payment has been received. If you need to edit the order because of stock problems, there are stock problems. After editing, you will be able to refund the remaining amount. You can solve all problems in a super simple way in the order. We can't see it because it needs to be charged and paid. We can't see it here, but try it. It's very easy to connect. And then when the orders start coming in, or you can place a test order, you will understand how it works and the shipping methods. I can create the shipping methods I want and add surcharges or discounts. For example, I want customers. Here we can configure all the related access and configuration of our customers. The first part is very important. I have to make sure that if I want to do this, I have to approve the access of these customers. In this case, if I activate it, they will no longer be able to enter directly. They will have to wait. Approved, if I don't want it due to a specific situation, I don't want it. Nobody can go in. I can deactivate the registration there and nobody will be able to register. They will only see the catalog if they want to add. Can add specific questions and then put it here. For example, we're going to add. Question is, I don't know which brands. If you work this way, you will have to answer this question in the registration form. I can force disable the sales points that we see. Before they can be activated or deactivated in this way, I have generated. My clients can also create their sales points on the map, which is often widely used by brands to show their brand image, especially clothing. People also need to test customers, potential end consumers. They need to try the goods, so they go to one of the stores that are most likely to buy from you. Price list. Advanced system features, but they can create different price lists. And then I can assign it to specific customers. We'll go deeper into this in the customer. Create lists here, and then from the product, and finally assign to the customer. Customer classification allows us to further understand. The client can classify them and then filter by any questions. In this case, it's by region. It can also be by client type, whatever you want. You need to, and then obviously on the client side, they can filter it easily. And finally, allows me to control all the subtitles. For example, the checkout notifications we saw before. I'm going to tell the customer what my terms are. Not only that, but how to buy, who we are. Automated WhatsApp messages with abandoned carts. Very important. Welcome emails, registration notification emails, order, etc. This is very important because this is how you communicate. These emails will go out with your brand and tell the customer what's here. Let's check them out. They all come with preset configurations. In this case, we'll see, for example, order emails, order received, we can enter here to edit. We have a special editor that doesn't allow us to see how the email looks like, because it's made in Markdown, which is a very good way to be able to send Expedos in an efficient way. And it will allow us to create emails, tell him what we want to tell him. A lot of things can be done. You will see this system in many places where you can edit text. It not only allows me to create text, bold, enlarge, reduce, etc., but also generate, for example, I really like the example of links. For example, when I want, for example, the section about how to buy, look at it. Contact us. If you want to contact us via WhatsApp, like I wrote in the text, I can generate it. For example, I can link it to my WhatsApp, and I enter my number 54911 and your number, and when I confirm it, a button will be generated. If I save it now in the store section, this button, purchase method, will be a button that takes you directly to WhatsApp. Then you can link to a lot of things like WhatsApp or other sites like this feature where for some reason you need to take it to another page. The auto merchandiser. I like the auto merchandiser because it's a tool that can help you grow. It's an auto merchandising tool. What it does is it reads the behavior of the customer, depending on what they did. If they left an abandoned cart, if you came and never did anything or already purchased something, we can arrange that. Subsequent triggers. You will find a strategy pre-installed in your system. Obviously, you need to check. In this case, we will only see one more. For example, this Autoseller is activated after 30 days. I can edit the time here. It may take a few days or hours to place an order. Abandoned shopping carts, registrations. In this case, I want to tell the customer who places an order every month, don't give him any promotional messages. Contact him and ask him if he wants to restock. We can edit the content of the email, the title, the content of the email with all the information to be sent. I can also include, for example, your last order. I can provide suggestions for new products and best sellers. It will get them from your system and create an email. When the time is up, all this information will be sent to the customer. In this case, after 30 days, he will send you an email. More information will be sent to you, and there is a client button in that email. When you click on complete the new order, it will log in automatically in your store and ready to place a new order. It is a very powerful tool that works alone. You can do a lot of things, no matter how many customers you have. For example, tell him what happens if he does not buy in 30 days. Let's do another one for 60 days. In this case, I want to give you shipping. Then this email is already sent to those who have not bought anything for 2 months by sending a shipping voucher, free with preset texts that you want to tell your customers. Abandoned carts, etc. Well, we will see it. You will be able to see it clearly. It is already pre-configured. You can delete it and create your own. I advise not to abuse this tool because it will bring you to automatically send emails to all customers, which is definitely an abuse. Then I suggest you take a look at the pre-made strategies. Take a look. See what discounts there are. All the car sellers that have discounts come to close so as not to send discounts without your consent. Edit it to be symbolic discounts. Put the one that corresponds to your business and activate it. This already works alone. Does not matter how many customers you have, because the more and more customers you get will continue to be committed to your entire customer portfolio, making you sell more products. Coupons are super simple. Basically, you can create different coupons. So you can give it to private customers. Coupons, the customer has to hold it. We will create an activated coupon until we tell him that there will be a 10% discount on March 30th. We will put a code. The code can be the same, 10% discount, whatever you want. This will be the coupon you have to give to the customer. Below I can choose, in this case, we will choose 10% discount. Save. This is already configured in the system. You can give coupons to customers They will use it. They are not cumulative. If he already has a 10% discount, this coupon will not give him another 10%. It will only be given to you if it is lower than the corresponding discount. Since there is no other offer, we will ship to you for free. It has nothing to do with the discount. You can also give some money discount. Advertising section. This section is only used to connect your digital marketing activities. This is a big topic. There is a section about wholesale sales. You can see our digital marketing guide for wholesalers. We recommend that you focus mainly on meta advertising. In Google Ads search, we also have Google Analytics to track all the traffic that comes to our store, and Google Tag Manager to be able to add another type of pop-up tag or any tag you need. This section is very useful for agencies. If you are working with a marketing agency, they need to track to see if the marketing they are doing is actually leading to sales. If it needs to be corrected, this will give you information. For example, if Google Ads is advertising for someone, it becomes a record in the order, or sends a WhatsApp to the system and it notifies Google. Google will tell you, look, so many people came in. A lot of people clicked, a lot of people placed orders, and this is what you get. For example, let's understand how the campaign results are. In this case, Willard's tracking status in the order, but tool that allows me to design the steps of the order. From when you enter the company until you leave the company in the way you need it. It obviously comes with pre-configured steps from entry to exit review, assembled, not invoiced, invoiced until shipped. With the color, I can choose a color. I can choose to notify the customer. In this case, the tracking status must be notified to the customer. It will allow me to create an email where I can generate the message that I send to you when I sort the order. For example, in this case, the order has been shipped. I will be able to build the whole email. When I send it, it will send you an email with your name. When the order is sorted, it will send you an email with your brand, important information about the order that you sent. Here the email is built. The message is what is important. I will edit when the order is made. So remember this, it's very good. It's very useful, especially for example in this case, to request payment. I can come and say, okay, pay your order so that it can be shipped. I can tell you, thank you for your order, it's ready. Please pay me. I will send it to you. Please come back and check. I want you to send me a proof of payment through my WhatsApp link. For example, you can send it to any email you want. I will also have a prepackaged amount and important information about the account. The company uses colors and activates notifications. We will see it, and then it will be understood. But from here, I have to design all my status, tracking, and then I can do it in the request. Design section. Basically, we will be able to control the entire general design of our store. Remember that the store has several options for customizing the aesthetics. One from here and another from the categories that we will see later. I will be able to modify my logo, set the basic institutional colors to generate the store colors. Fonts. New and best-selling images are about to be added to the product. In this case, I have to add it to the product to tell you that the product is new to the store. If it is a bestseller, it will be added to automatically sample the best-selling products, and he will put this on him. Hey, as you can see, the ad in the upper right corner is the best-selling ad. These images are also predetermined, and you can modify them. They are completely free. The images should be on a transparent background so that they can be seen better, but they will work. In this case, the best-selling one will work automatically. I can control the sell height of each product. the spacing between the products to differentiate them. For example, I say, okay, I'm going to put 300 here, margin 10. Notice that now my products have a smaller margin and a higher height. If I want to restore it to the way it was before, margin 350, separation 20, it will look like before, with a lower height and a larger separation. You see, there are 3 products here. There are 4 here, which are customized products. Here I see the banner within a certain category, the color of a specific category. All of these sections can be seen in the category configuration section. Overall, in terms of the overall design, I can modify everything that we saw before, and the header banner, here I can upload pictures, videos, they are all free. The movies and images can be in any format you want. It can be MP4, GIF, web, no problem. But they should all be the same size. In this case, if I say, this banner is 1,200 pixels wide and 400 pixels high pixels, I'm going to have multiple of them. I need them all to be the same height, otherwise it's going to look bad. They're going to be cut off because the system needs to show everything in one size. I can add a YouTube video if I want. In addition to the YouTube link, I can also add the link that we saw in the initial link. I can add more button names and specific content inside the banner. Obviously, it's going to be a button on the banner. So I can customize the overall aesthetic of my store. The chat section, let's see. How to set up the store chat. I have to move here to show you that I can put WhatsApp phone number to send me for support. I'll be able to control the title of my chat. I'll be able to add support channels. I can put in different phone numbers for different sellers. Different fields, in this case sales and administration. I can put a message and it will be completed automatically when a client clicks to chat with sales. For example, I need help with wholesale purchasing. This will automatically complete the important message that I told you at the beginning. The FAQ, I recommend that you ask all these repeated questions. Also put them here so that before they click to talk to an advisor, they can find the question at hand and perhaps avoid questions that they can answer themselves. The FAQ also has an editor. I can go ahead and edit it like before, and then they will have access to the store through the chat so I can see these questions. I can embed videos, I can put links, I can do all the same things that we did before. That section. Company emails. Remember that you can use our company emails for free. They are through aliases that we generate and can be used from Gmail. You have to have a Gmail account. I can't show you here because it needs to be activated through a Gmail account. Just click on the button and it will generate a connection to your domain, and you will allow you to configure an alias from your Gmail account that will be able to send company emails through Gmail. Basically, it's telling you my nico@gmail.com is my email, and I want to generate sales at mynegocio.com. And then I will be able to do it. Well, you have to follow a lot of steps there. Explained here, when the domain is connected to your system, you will be able to activate. To generate these emails, you have to tell sales at mydomain.com, I will use it. nico@gmail.com. To create the email, follow the steps. It's very important to follow them as instructed here. And in Gmail, your emails will work properly, and you will be able to send from your Gmail as your company email, sales@yourdomain.com, or whatever you need. You can create as many emails as you want. Make the most of it because it's a free tool and you will have free Gmail. The limitations are obvious. If you want professional company emails, you should hire a professional email. We only offer you one basic functionality that allows you to have a more professional email, but it has the limitations of Gmail. And finally, the subscription section, super simple. You will see how it appears in your subscription, what your sales are, and how much you have to pay each month based on this sales. And finally, we will see a more advanced configuration. In our users, we click on users, and we will find tools. In this section, we have a custom importer. This is only for contracted customers. Custom importer to import from your RP, such as price lists. It will change automatically. Please consult us. It must be measured. No, if you do not have a program specifically for your ERP, it will not work. But if you have the ability to export products to Google Drive and then import them, our importer is universal and allows you to change prices, inventory, and edit, delete, or build products. We will see this later in another section, but you can access it from here. You can export customers and also increase prices significantly. This is a quick tool, simpler, just if I want to round it up, we set it to 10%. The prices are generally increased. Once confirmed, we change all the prices at once. Here you can't identify the categories or anything else, but it applies to everything. We also have the mass image importer that we'll see later. It will allow us to import many photos. Load products directly. No need to load them one by one. Let's continue with the managers. In the managers section, you have the possibility to connect with the person you want to connect with. This is very important because the system will show who made each change. Then you can see it in the change history of the product order. So if you work with other people, I recommend generally users let it access the corresponding content, in this case configuration, customers, orders, sellers. We'll also see later. Sellers, you can set up sellers to access the system and manage their orders and customers. Tools, indicators, products, or managers can create other things. Generally, your manager is the main person in charge. Will be here when we deliver. It will not be a seller, because when I start a seller, please note that it will deactivate all other sellers. Function. Then it's no longer a seller. You can generate other. It's easy to create a manager with just an email and password. The email doesn't have to exist. If it doesn't exist, you can still use it to enter. If it exists, it makes no difference. Now you can enter the email of the person you want to give access to, a key, then allow access, and then press this button to confirm. It's that simple. The important thing is that you apply it. For sellers, I also invite you to go to the supplier area after understanding how to deal with seller access. But from here, you can create administrator access to anyone we have. Said. A newsletter is super simple. We will collect the email registered in the newsletter section in the footer of your store. Can I sign up so that you can send me an email? This is useful for mass mailing later. It's those who have registered in your store. When you do email marketing, you will send them messages so you can access it in addition to the client. These are not customers, but they did make a request. You can send them messages, and then you can target those who are interested. And finally, we have the catalog and the way for customers to access it. You can also access your account from your profile. You can generate catalogs. I recommend that you load all downloaded images quickly. From here, if that doesn't work, if you're in a hurry, just go to the end. Everything is loaded with images, and then you can print it as a PDF if you want. So it will produce a PDF with the full catalog of categories and prices, or you can download it as, I'm going to move it here so I can go out. I downloaded it as a catalog. It will just put the code, the price, all the options added up. One price, a general price. They won't give a detailed list of options or price lists or anything. For CSB, it will download more. If you need to send a more detailed catalog, in the case of CSB, it embeds the image as a URL, and there's a technique that you can learn later on how to turn that URL into an image. Generate the catalog directly in Google Spreadsheets. If you do this in Sheets, you will be able to work with a lot of other issues. It allows you to edit it like Excel, so there is the option to download the CSB, import it into Google Sheets, and convert link image. Then you can do whatever you want with the catalog. You can even share it as a URL. We finally reached the orders screen. Let's explore the main screen with filters. Select the date range you need. It will analyze that time period. In this case, it always defaults to analyzing the last month. You will see the complete list of orders and the filters to sort by. Depending on the tracking status, rating, seller, etc., you can change it according to the issues you have enabled. For example, in this case, we work with sellers. Then you go to have, if you don't have any sellers, then this filter disappears. We have a search engine to search for customers by name, by order number, and sales volume report. There are two related to this too. The reports will show the information on the screen, and you can do whatever you want with it. Both reports are also generated in table format. You will be able to do a deeper analysis because in tables you can create formulas. You can filter, sort, view them. They are very good. They will allow you to do anything from product type analysis and sales by category, by products, etc. Let's take a look at orders. We have customer data. We have change history, which is very important because it allows you to see if there are any modifications made by managers in the same monitoring state. There is nothing here because no changes have occurred. But in this example, if you tell me who modified it and what modification they made, it can help you control who did what in the team. In the order, we first select the tracking status. By default, it's new, but here I can start selecting the tracking status that we've seen how to create. Now I'm going to use them, so I can say that this order will be reviewed and the status will be updated, just as in the review. Because the client is configured in this way, there is no notification to the client. No email will be sent to the customer. It will just generate the tracking status and it will sort it into your order list to help you. Let's continue. I'll come back in a moment. We have all the customer data, contact through WhatsApp or email. I can access here. I have all the customer information and I have all the details of the order information purchased and the order, assembly order. We also saw this in the configuration. You can decide here how to generate it. This is where you will use the order, assembly order. Remember, our purpose is to print it out. This is done so that it can be printed on a piece of paper and give it to the warehouse, for example, to collate the order and control. Let's say this order has come to the warehouse. It's printed. Control 1 and Control 2 are for, if you want them, Control 2. People go in and watch in case there's any detail that's not. For example, this one in the warehouse. Let's assume, hey, there's a problem with the inventory. They collate the order and find out that it's wrong. For example, this Sabina sweater, it's not 8, it's 6. So what will happen is that the order that's already prepared in the warehouse, they will come back with that sheet and tell you to go and see this. Order is prepared, but the product doesn't match what you ordered. So you can edit the order. And editing the order is very useful for all these mismatches. This is very common in the wholesale pipeline. I can modify the quantity directly when I edit an order. We're going to modify the quantity of this product to 6 pieces. This is what we said. We have this in the box. So I can close the order and execute the changes. Now, let's see. But I can also decide to call the customer, but I don't know how to sell him other products. You can also add products and modify them. I'll just leave it like this and then go downstairs. I can, of course, modify the changes of surcharge discounts. I can generate general observations made by customers or internal staff as well. If I need to generate internal notes, when you save the system, it will automatically send an email to your customers. You can also control this email from the settings, as we have seen before. In the settings of the Edit Order Email section, you can edit the text of the email that will be sent, but basically the email will tell you that your order has been edited. This is the order that I can deliver to you, through which you can actually sign for the delivery. And in addition, the order has obviously been executed and the values of the purchase order have been modified. So I'm ready. You can directly say, okay, let's move on. I won't tell you, now I'm going to request payment. Then I will select the order that I have received notification from the client that it is ready, but no payment is required. If you remember, you can go back and you can't see it when you set this status, that a follow-up email with all the requested information has been created. Payment. Here are the important information I created the template. The template is here. So here I will have my bank account and so on. I can add shipping here if I need to, that I need, or any other fees. I can determine here. Let's take this order as an example. And there are 990,466, I don't know. 5,000 shipping, I can write whatever I want. So it's completely free here. You can even have multiple accounts, whatever you want. When you edit this, this is the information that will be sent to the client. Now, when I update the system, it tells me that it will send that email, alerting him. The mail has been sent. The order has been sorted. I already know that the customer has received it. Then it can be paid with the mailbox, right? So I can keep going until, for example, I want to send the order. What do you want to indicate when I ship it? What tracking number did the shipping company give me, etc., and update it. Orders, and be able to notify the customer that their order has been shipped. In this case, I would recommend that if you work as a team, the shipping notification part will definitely be done at the warehouse, and then they can generate a user here from the warehouse that can only access orders. And then you give all the, let's tell him, that's the one below, it can only access orders. Then you give this access to the warehouse staff, and then the person, when they go into the order with the administrator, will only see the command you told him to execute, that you have actually executed, the pre-configured tracking status, which is that the order has been paid and is ready to be shipped, to be dispatched. And I would send this notification to the station person and have them call the shipping company. And they will see this screen, they will see this, or they can even leave it on their own. Same filtering. These orders are only related to the goods that are ready to be shipped. Once they are shipped, contact the transport company, enter the message, update the status. An email will be sent to the customer. The order will be dispatched. You can see from the office or from the admin area, you will be able to see that the order has been shipped. So that completes the report. What I tell you is that you should look at them calmly and deeply. I'm just going to generate one quickly. Remember that it is generated based on the period that is being analyzed. So when it is generated, we will see an example. Here is an example. With all the information for each order, in this case, the report is broken down by product. And then you have all the products that were purchased based on the product name, who bought it, which city, which province, or even, well, you can filter by province from here, or you can filter by, I don't know. For any other questions you have here, you will get everything, all the information that happened to each product. And the other one is sold by category. It will show you the sales by category. These two people can get all the information they need. We will end here. I refer to the tags. This is a great solution. You have to catch the key points of the company in the configuration in order to generate it correctly. What it's going to do is generate all the information. You need to be able to send or process the order. Notice here, you have to accept, and hey, when you click accept, it will show your logo. This is a detail, and then when they accept, it will generate the logo. One click to see the complete piece. We even have, if we want to use it to organize the order, we can also use it. You have a formal delivery note, and when you use it, it will have your logo on it, right? But it has the structure of a consignment note, which is used to deliver it to the transporter, or if you want, you can also print it on the formal remittance note, and you also have the label of the assembled box will bring, if there is a message, as I told you before, in the configuration will bring all the sender's information, which is you, and all the customer delivery information can be copied and pasted down below for printing. Everything you need, and label the box. So we have completed this part of order. Okay, let's take a look at the customer screen, which is one of the most used screens. I would say that the first thing we have to do is, as with all screens, filter and sort. Filter. For example, for sorting, here I can say, give me all you have. It will first bring me all the customers who abandoned the cart. We'll see what this is for. If you have orders, I can order, no good. This one has a cart and orders. Can I filter and sort by this way? From the list of customers, we can see that depending on your approval, there are no customers here. If you have customer approval, you need to get approval. The access of unapproved customers will be shown here with a button that says unapproved. And you will be able to go to another screen. The client will be unapproved. You can log in and see the information. Communicate. If you agree, click on approve. There is a button. It's simple. You will see it. When it is approved, it will go to this screen. They are approved customers, and an email will be sent to the customer to notify them. Now you can enter. I will focus on those who have been approved. Among the approved customers, we have two types of customers. Those who do the right thing and register correctly. They don't have any warnings. For those who have not completed the registration, we can see that in this case, we will write it like this. There are a lot of people who have not completed the registration, and you will see it when it appears, and you can filter it. Unverified, but you'll see it here. That means that the person tried to terminate the registration after for some reason failed to verify your email, and then the system will show a button with a code on it. When you register, for some reason the verification that was sent to you via email was not placed, but it also tells you that you have to assist that client. And you can call him, contact him, ask him what happened, assist him. You can approve. If I choose to verify, that client will be passed to the verified client. I have to confirm the email with the client. The email is correct, because if it's not correct, you won't receive any mail. If you approve it from here, if you verify it, it will treat the email there as valid. We can't verify it. It's a question that you have to confirm it yourself and return to the general screen. We can also quickly view the cart date, the order, the category. You can create this in the settings, in the section specific categories of wholesale customers. In this case, it's by region. It can also be by customer type. Remember, whatever you want, you will do it. Being able to categorize customers with your own classifications. We also have price lists and discounts if there are sellers. In this case, there are no lists and no discounts. In the client, we will be able to access that. When he registered, it was loaded so that I can assign a salesperson. In this case, assigning a salesperson to this customer will also be seen by the salesperson. Then we will do a section specifically to understand the depth of the seller. But it is very simple. The seller creates a seller user. As we saw before, when the seller user is established, I can now assign that user to a customer, seller, or whoever I want. Once I assign it, it will appear. If you place an order, the seller in your customer list will assist you. The same customer will also come to you. So this case has a seller. If I want to put a price list, remember that when you list the price list, when he enters the store to buy the prices and products in the list, so be careful because obviously things will change after the entry of e-commerce. In this case, I will leave it as it is. In this case, as we can see, I can tell you that this belongs to the first zone. I can give you a fixed discount. If I decide to go with a fixed discount, remember that this discount is smaller, in a smaller range, automatic discounts, and the customer buys more than the fixed discount you give him, the highest discount will be applied. With this in mind, I repeat, if the customer has a fixed 5% discount, but your tiered discounts can be up to 20%, depending on X purchase quantity, and the customer who places an order exceeding that purchase amount will enjoy the discount, and not more than 5. If it is the other way around, no, they are not cumulative. That is, if you have a 20% discount, and the discount on the purchase amount reaches 10, even if he reaches 10 plus 20, it doesn't apply to him either. Just apply the discount you set. Okay, that's it. I can also generate personalized agreements. Remember, you have a basic list of conditions. As a minimum purchase and purchase amount for the discount, people without personalized conditions must meet these basic conditions. But I can tailor it to the customer. For example, let's take this customer as an example. Say this customer is a dealer. I will give you a list of dealers. This is a special list. But I want to require this customer to have a minimum purchase amount of, for example, let's say my initial minimum purchase amount is 100,000. I require the customer to meet another condition, or it can be by quantity of products. I can say your order must have at least 200 products. The personalization is that when he enters, he must comply with a minimum purchase of 200 products in order to be able to access and send you the order price with this list, so that we can personalize the purchase of a special customer. And then we have the payment and shipping method chosen by the customer, which is very important because the customer can ask to modify the sales agreement you have reached with your working conditions. You can modify it from here. You can even modify the conditions. It is often used here to express, for example, what agreement they have reached when you have reached an agreement on something very specific. If your customer can remember it the next time he buys, you can put it here. This is free text. Your customer will see it when he buys. For example, we agreed on the payment method is this. You want to send it to me like this? I don't know how it is shipped. It has this feature or something else, but it suits him. So that your clients can see it. I have internal customer behavior, which is a mini CRM. We will definitely expand it so that you can upload messages. This information will remain on the client, which only the administrator can access. And when the client orders, it will also be embedded in the order. You will be able to see it. The client will not see it. Everything is explained here. And finally, I have the point of sale that allows me and the client. Remember that the client can also charge as a point of sale if it is not loaded. And I want it to appear for some reason commercially. I can do it by adding a point of sale. When you save this point of sale, it will appear in the list of points of sale. The next thing we are going to see is how to create clients. These are the registered clients that we saw before. I can create a client. If I need to receive a client by phone, or I want to generate a user, I can create it. Remember to create a user and password. When you save it, you can give your client a username and password so that he can continue to manage the orders himself. This happens if your client is not quite used to it yet, or does not want to go through the registration process. They can charge you and you tell him, okay, from tomorrow with this email and password, you will be able to enter this website, my website, to place orders through the store. It is also possible to delete only those clients that do not have orders. Our technical problems do not allow us to eliminate the mining of clients that have related orders. If you do not have any, you can enter by editing the client and entering delete, and you will be able to delete it. The same in the case of editing. I can edit the conditions and save, and then I can edit the client. Finally, we have the report. As we have seen before, we also have a report from the client, which generates a Google Sheet with the entire client database, and I will be able to drill down again. It will take a while. I don't know if we will see the results soon, but it will generate a Google Sheet with all the information. It looks good. I have all the clients. There are conditions. I can filter, order. I can do whatever I want here, and I also have a special report that allows me to filter and sort. This is the part 1 want. I have CSB, download, when I want to download the basic upload data, for example, a mass email to an email platform. I can download this Excel from here and invite you to view it. This is a table that is specially generated with the tool. It is very good. It allows you to write text and generates a button to send it to WhatsApp. For the sales behavior, I invite you to have a look. Everything is explained in the help report below. Download the vCard for Google Contacts or the download library for vCard Direct. Ease. If you download from the phone, create it on the phone. If you want to do it, then you have registered contacts. You can do this with this button in Google Contacts on your computer. You have to download the file, upload it to Google Contacts. It will generate the library for you. All your contacts, and you will be able to see them on your phone. Or already have products on your computer. Comma. One of the main screens for new filtering and sorting. I think everyone has understood. We will convey. We have the product screen where the view obviously tells me, for example, in this case, infinite or a certain amount of mixed. They can do whatever they want. They can sell. If you sell infinitely, it is understood that the order will be confirmed. Or you can sell hybrids and make it clear during the purchase process that when you assemble, you determine that the product is in stock. Others do not need it. This will give you the flexibility to be able to operate and deliver your orders. You can do both. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like inside the product. What I'm going to finish, obviously, is the code. This code is for products that have no variants. Now we're going to go a little deeper. Since there are no variants, the product code will be placed here. Regardless of this is the product that is being sold, it has a name. There is a short description. A short description can help me put in a marketing subdescription. For example, let's type in 100% cotton here. For example, it adds it as a subtitle. Obviously, I recommend that you generate all the details here with a very good description, detailing all the circumstances of the product, features, functions, or whatever. In this case, we are in a clothing store. So this will be the details of the material, the size, etc. We have prices, we have categories. I can edit categories from here. It will take me to the category screen. I can modify it. In this case, it will open all the categories that I have. Categories can have subcategories or subcategories. You will see this clearly through the arrow stop telling me. For example, in this case, it is in the new section, collection, subcategory t-shirts. Then I can also add the product category in another. Yes, I can add it to all the categories that I want. For example, I can say that this product is also in the new collection, so I can use it. Add or in the outlet collection. Because I am clearing, it will also be there. It will be the same product in the store, but it will appear in two sections. When I do that or leave it in one, we don't have new. What it does is add the image design that we've seen, how to configure, and the visible section allows me to hide the product in the store. I can say now it's invisible. I'm not going to sell it anymore for a while when I want to reactivate it and highlight it. What it does is Even though I have it highlighted, the product still takes up 2 slots in the store. The product will take up 2 slots instead of 1. Now, I don't know where it went, but it's going to take up double the space. It's going to be more noticeable, so try it out. It's useful for any product you need, and there's really a lot of visibility. Images. It allows me to see not only images, but also videos, movies, GIFs, MP4s, whatever I want. And I recommend if you have a video, use the first photo, which is the product photo. This is a clear photo of the product. The second image is a video, because I don't have an example in this case, but when I put my image in this store view as an example of what it would look like if there was a video in the store, it would look great because when they hover over it with their mouse or when they click on the product, the video will play along with the first image. So if there is a video that explains more clearly what the product is like, it would be better to put it up there. As a second image, if there is a YouTube video, it will also give me a link. I can select and edit the product. If I want to edit this image, I want to put a filter, I want to crop it, or anything else I can do. I won't do that. Another thing I can do is hide the photo if I want. I can also order it. Ordering is very simple. You just drag the product back to where you want it. For example, I want it here, so I'm going to step on it with this so I can order it. We're going to put it back, arrange it the way I want it, photo or video, and below is the options section. By default, if you create a new product, there will be no options. You will see something like this. Now, if I go back here, we're going to calm down. If I do have options, how do I create them? Let's look at this case. There are many sizes and colors. It allows me to create a group, which contains a group of codes. This is why I talked to you about codes before. If the universal code is unique without options, that is the product code, the one you are selling, or the one you can use in your management system, if you have the option, you have to write a dummy code. We call it the parent code. And then yes, it can be a real code, or a code that you load in your management system. The price is obviously not bad. For example, this product has a certain number per package, 12. I can choose the number per package or the minimum number. In this case, we will put in 3 minimum quantities. Variations. In this case, it tells me that this package is sold in 12 pieces, which is completely exemplary. Think about your situation. For example, if I sell by unit, by package, by bundle, this is useful for me. If I have a minimum guarantee, and it doesn't matter, they can ask for anything they want afterwards. This is the minimum ideal. I ask for 3. But if I sell by box, I can ask for 4 or 5. The box will show the number of units, and when the purchase will increase the number of units you bring here. In this case, the lower 12, 24, 36. We also have inventory. I can add images that correspond to the variants. And when they go to buy, see what happens when I have relevant images. Like, I want to buy white 44 now. Will send me photos of the product I bought. The shopping experience will be better. I recommend that if you have photos and you have variants, you can do this. So it will also be clearer for the customer. Finally, we see the out of stock button again. Playing preview, we have seen it. What happens when you declare inventory and the inventory goes to 0? The product will show out of stock and will activate the button that notifies customers that they can subscribe and will send you an email, or when you add inventory to the system and replenish the inventory again. When you add inventory to the system, it will send you an email. Notify the customer that the product is back in stock. By the way, I can see the products of interest section from here. I can know who is waiting for the product. Which products most customers are waiting for? In this case, it's the product. I also have the opportunity to see who is I can access the list of interested parties from here so you know what product you are interested in. It will tell you who this person is or who the customer is. The next step is the price list. Remember, we are going to quickly go through the customer wholesale section. My price list, this is the name of the list and the code. Now I can specify the price for this list. In the product, I can choose which list. For example, in the dealer list, we can say, if this product is sold for 61, in the dealer price list, it's sold for 35. Okay, I can even modify. If I have a version that I can edit with different prices, this will generate the products in the list. And when I assign the list to the customer, what is its price? If I don't price this list, but assign it to the customer, when the customer enters the product, he will not see it. You may not be able to buy it, but I can do some variations. For example, if I have a distributor, let's assume that the options are in units, sold in packages, and in bulk, I only sell to the distributor per package, can give the price per unit and per package, leaving the price of the package. And when the customer comes in, let's imagine again, I will only see the package and the price. I have to determine the quantity per package, so I can customize which customers the product is sold to and at what price. In addition to the general section, we also have the categories section. Within the categories section, we'll see the category tree. If they can't obviously add category, you'll be able to start building the category tree by adding new. I'm going to remove the main item. Let's look at the example. It already has a tree of categories, and notice that the tree has subcategories, and then this way, the table tells me which subcategory they belong to. If I go here and see it, I'll be in the category that the premium outlets still belong to. Notice that this will be the category, and the subcategory will unify them so I can understand where I am. Where they change, these are the subcategories within the premium outlets, and then come back here. Come back here, what can I do first? If I need to sort or reorder the categories, it's easy, just drag and drop. If I say, okay, I want to put new first, I'll move it up. New only has one subcategory. I want to create another one, I can create another one, and then I can do liquidation. And then hit enter and then confirm save. I'll keep working because it allows you to keep working. Don't forget to save, or it will be lost before you exit. Always save. Now I'm talking about settlements and new income. First of all, I want settlements. Obviously, I'm going to move it. And I also have that I can go ahead and use this button if I want a subcategory. I created the subcategory and then I said no. Hey, t-shirts, so I'm back and now I have t-shirts in my new arrivals. But the new income belongs to the knee category, and I have 3 levels here. I can go ahead like this. This is what I showed you before. You'll see with the arrows, no, use the separation arrows. If I save it and go back to the products, notice that the selection I made through the 3 steps. Here I have the new arrivals area, new arrivals, t-shirts. Here we have 3 levels of categories. I can save it and put it on the 3rd level. Back to the categories, another thing I can do is customize the categories. This part is very important because it's the second part. I have to be able to customize the store design. Remember, the store has a design area. We can modify all the general level stuff, fonts, general colors, etc. But if we look at the store, look at this premium section. Store, the background is black. Each category has 3 products. And the other section, this section has a banner inside it. But each category also has 4 products and a white background. How do I do that? Well, I can customize my categories. For example, we go to designer outlets. We go into the categories, and we see that I have a good name. As we saw before, I can hide categories. This is to be careful, because if I put hidden categories, it's good because it allows me to hide the entire category so as not to sell it. If due to some seasonal situation I have to delete the entire category, I hide it. I don't delete anything, I know it's hidden, so when I need to reactivate it, I just activate it, and the products will be sold again, the title image. This allows me to replace the text with an image. As we saw before, the image is a PNG. The image, the one we used, I recommend you use an image with a transparent background so that it matches the color of the category and is unified with the category color. But I can also change the color of the title. I can put it, I don't know, highlight color. I can change the background like here, or I can put a banner with an image and a link carrying the product. I've seen it. It's the same design. I uploaded the banner, added a link that can take it to, I don't know, another product. In the specifications or whatever I want, I can put the link here. That banner is clickable just like that. I can manage the margins of the banner, the rounded corners at the tip of the banner. This option represents the number of columns. That's why there are 3 columns here. Remember, in Premium Outlet, we saw 3 products. In the other 4 products, that's because I put 3 here. I can put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can go to Edit to show the amount I want according to what I want. If I want to hide the title, can I hide the entire category title directly? This will make me, the category will directly hide all the titles there. We saw the customization we made. We changed the color. We can put everything. You can even have red as a background or as an image. I recommend using patterns. Let's take a look at this, for example. Here's another case. Look at another example of a demo. It has an image. This image is like what you see here. I'm moving it because I'm going to take it out. As you can see, it has a transparent background, and I customize the category title. I put the blue background in the spotlight, and then I go to the next category, which is the kitchen. I already have an image background, as you can see. It repeats throughout the image category, and I have a product banner that can take me to that product. If they don't want to, this is the link to the banner, and then I have here, you can see the featured products. We've seen before in the products, colored backgrounds, and so on, and then these categories that don't have a customized image will take the font and text category. Always remember, when you're done editing my category, save it so that the changes are applied. Don't forget, the last section we're going to look at is the metrics section. And this is a very interesting section if you're in charge of the day-to-day decisions in the sales department. I want to tell you that it's very important to analyze this data on a daily basis, and you can filter and sort by date. You can go back 2 months, analyze up to 2 months, and it will give you very interesting information. For example, let's take an example of a traffic spike. The price also increased. Let's see, it tells me that 6 products have increased in sales, but it tells me that there are 2 orders. The value of my order amount, so I can have a chart of my sales over this period of time. This is a demonstration. The data you see here is not, they don't say much because this is not what they will really see. But you can see if they have stock for sale, like some launch, some communication, or some guidelines that really attracted traffic to the advertising, you can know what the results are. If there is activity, then the activity is measured here. When someone comes into the system, it's inside the client. What you measure through analytics is not the activity that is measured through traffic. This is from Google Analytics. We remember that we can do integration with the configuration that you have integrated to analyze in the advertising section. But this is a graph of traffic, orders, sales amount. It will tell you if the number of products has increased or decreased, which also shows if it has affected sales. If the price increase has caused a decrease in sales, then lower the price, which he did, and that's why the sales increased. The number of orders compared to the previous period It can be positive or negative in terms of quantity and value. Cancellations, if you cancel an order. Remember that the canceled orders will also be measured and will be shown here. It will also show you the value of the shopping cart and the number of abandoned carts. Abandoned carts are a tool that is very important because I can go to the customer. Remember, if you have a shopping cart, you can filter the shopping cart date. See which customer left and which shopping cart they left. Abandoned, I can even send him a message on WhatsApp. He will send him a link to directly access your account. If you click on it, it will open directly. Don't worry, because you have verified the email and you were able to complete that order. That's great. I think they should constantly review it and use it to treat the recovery of carts that exceed their own volume. The seller will automatically do this. But this is another way to do it. Return to the indicator. Another problem we face is measuring the products that people are interested in. We have seen before in the product, people can order products that are waiting for restocking. He will tell me here, let me know more clearly where I am really focused on restocking that product because there are still many people waiting for it. In this case, there are 3 people, but it's actually the same person. Logically, what we see here is the funnel of new customers. How many new customers during this period did not buy the product, abandon the shopping cart, or make a purchase? In this case, of the 2 things recorded during this period, again, this is just a demonstration. It doesn't actually have any data. They converted 0, so my conversion rate is also 0. This will help you understand if you have a lot of customers, if you convert very few, please understand that in the actual numbers, you will definitely see the conversion rate. It is very rare that they don't buy. If no one is buying, then there is a problem. But if your conversion rate is low, you can analyze what might be happening. Maybe your minimum purchase amount is too high, and then people are coming in but not completing the order. This chart allows you to visually see the best-selling categories. Well, no need to explain much. Sales by category, sales by product, best-selling categories by amount. Well, this is another analysis by volume or monetary value. The same as with products, it gives me another parameter. Which products are really driving the growth in turnover and the sales on the heat map? I can see that in this case, we don't have much information. But we can see my sales in all the sales locations. If you sell all over the country with a heat map, if you see weak areas, you will be able to detect them so you can focus on, for example, an advertising campaign in a weak area. Tell them that sales in Cordoba are low. I've been measuring that it's going down. Then, launch a search campaign specifically for Cordoba on Google Ads and make it start to have better conversion areas. And finally, I want to remind everyone that this is just a quick and comprehensive overview. Like, go in and quickly understand where I'm going to sell or lose and be able to take quick actions on a daily basis. Obviously, if one wants to go deeper, they have to go and drill down into the sales cases that we have. We see that when you go to order analysis, all the data for each product, each sale, each customer is already on another level. But it's really a great tool to have a quick overview of the situation. Look at the seller section. This is not really a section, but covers several areas. Let's make it very simple and quick. The first thing you need to know is to assign your salesperson. This is the possibility to go into the catalog. They can create the customers that they are willing to serve, can place orders with customers, can basically use your technology you have to create a user for them. This is done by the manager. You create a seller user. You create the user with an email and a password and start the seller. When you start the seller, the other options. Items will be closed. We have seen this before in the manager section. So I have created a seller. We then said that we can assign that salesperson to a customer. If we want to serve a certain customer, we go to a no, like this. I want this person to be served by this salesperson. Here, if we have more than one, it will show the list. When I save my seller here is, when he enters the username, he can enter. Now we look at it from another perspective. You can see the customer, you assigned it. If the customer places an order, it goes to the seller. Of course, if we order it, it goes to you. There are all these orders here. The seller also received their emails. We know that someone needs to take care of it. Take care of them. So let's take a look at the seller side. What happens when the seller agrees to work, whether it's your seller or your seller? Each person has his own username and password. You will see the username and password provided, and what he will do is he goes to your store, enters with his seller username and password. Let's see, now the profile tells me, or tells that person, that this is a seller with seller access. We'll be able to see prices. Products. Again, customers can choose to place orders with you. We have seen this before. When you enter, you will see your list of customers and your list of orders. If you have established customers, you will only see the customers assigned to you. Obviously, if that customer already exists because you already have it for other reasons. It will not let you create it. You can't create a client that already exists. If it does, it will obviously be created and associated with it. That has to be taken into account. There is this possibility. There is a completely open possibility. No, there is not. Today, for example, you can't stop. Assign price lists with categories. Minimum purchase quantities. These kinds of questions have access rights. You should explain to him or agree with him what this is and how you are going to use it. But he has full access. And the ordering party also has access. They will send it to you by email. You can also see the status of each order. So he can also know where the assembly process is. If the customer asks him or something like that, he can only ask his customer. You also need to download the order to send to the customer. Other things you can do, he can also do it here. So he can also move the follow status, telling him that the order has been invoiced. This is done from the management department. He sees that the blue is the bill. He has to collect it, so he comes here. He asks you for money. He knows that when he asks you for money, the system will send an email to the customer, and then he can do it. He operates that part or not, it's up to you. It doesn't have to be like this, but it's a useful way for everyone to be responsible for what they should do or what they have to solve. The seller obviously also has access to the catalog in his profile. You can download the catalog as a PDF. CSV can also. I want to emphasize that if the seller is going to visit, the customer and your business will be able to use your store as an order taker because he will visit you, so he will take the order. Say, okay, give me your data, create the client data, save it, and then come here to charge the customer. Start taking orders, and according to the conditions that you set, if you have a list, it will appear, the price list will change, and you will be able to place orders according to the following list. Corresponding to the situation, no, and then you will be able to do it quickly if you have it with a tablet or a mobile phone. It's a mobile phone. It can also be a little bit smaller, but it will be able to execute the order when the order will receive a copy, and the copy will be sent to the customer, and they will send you a copy so you can manage your team, sales, and now we go to the advanced part. Let's see how to do a large-scale product import. As far as the products are concerned, I have my list. I can obviously edit products one by one from here, but if I want to make a drastic change, we have tools to export products out to Google Drive and import them in. Let's do that. Let's run it. At this point, the system is taking your product library, and it's going to generate it in a spreadsheet that I can edit. You have to be careful because it's going to take a long time. to reapply these changes in the store, like they have inventory. The stock was bought at the time. If you send this change in, and there are other inventory modifications at the time, whatever you do is going to modify them again. So if you're going to take some time, if you're not doing this during business hours, I recommend that you do this. Apply and close the page that's under construction so that they don't come into your orders. And don't affect your inventory. No customers make any inventory moves. And you can go through all of these changes and import them to see if everything is working. Restart the page and uncheck the under construction toggle. OK. As we can see, the product screen has the different sections that we already know about. Now we put them in the columns. If we see we have the code, name, options, packaging, description, details, visibility, new and in stock. These are the switches that we have used. As you can see, you can use yes or no, and if there are multiple categories, then categories are used. In this case, there are 3 levels of categories, and it will separate them so that you can see them, and here you will see them and their subcategories. For example, this means that this product belongs to the new category. Series Anocracks and the new category, and I also have price, sale price and list price, and if I want, I can apply it here as well. It's very simple. So let's start analyzing it. It's very important to understand certain issues to make sure that each field is smooth. The first issue, the code. The code cannot be edited from here. The code is the only field that can be edited. But if you do that, the system will think that you have deleted it. In this case, the code ends with 021 and will create the same product with the new code, but you will lose the photos because it will think the product has been deleted and created another one. We have to understand that these products, they already exist on the page and may already have photos associated with it. It may already be built. In this case, I'm editing it. I'm showing you how to edit, so be very careful not to touch the code here. If you need to make code changes, you shouldn't. But if you need to, you can do it directly from the product. Modify the code from here so that the photos are not lost. Save it there, export it again, and you will correct it there, right? The next question is the name. If we see that the name is repeated here, now I will explain why. As you can see, the name is interesting. The product has the option, so this will be the parent code, which I told you before, these are, for example, the actual code from the billing system. The actual product sold is this. This is not a product, this is a grouping. He is a father, he will have all the children here. So far, another name starts here. These little children belong here. Let's make it a little smaller. It looks like this. All these children come from Abir. I have the name of the option. I can build the product group. If I want to create it directly from the importer, I can do it. I have to understand that I have to build a parent first, and then all the children. Same name, code of the variant, and the name of the option they indicate. In this case, size and color, and then I have detailed product details. You spell out the features of the product, visibility of new arrival, stock, category, and price. This is a group for me, so if I say this product is good, this one is not good. I work more, I don't sell it anymore, I can delete it. I delete the product. I also want to put it in list 001. In this case, the father does not need to pay for it because he has brought it from the system, but these prices are actually the prices of the real products of these options. So I'll try to make it clear. Let's draw it here. These are the options. So I want to set the price to 6,287, let's say. I'm going to make the price outside the same as here. Give this 0 points. 60%. This is my price for the product in list number 001. I'm going to copy the distributor list and paste it here like this. Value. And then I get the value I want. This is a way to create a formula. You can write it like this. This is already Excel management. But this way I add the price to this list. I even noticed that I said this option out of stock. I can also say this, I'm not out of stock. Turn it off so I can go ahead and, if I want it to be visible, I can edit the visibility, which is new, not this. This doesn't apply because this is handled by the father. These two options are brought on when you export, but these don't apply. Yes, it applies because I can decide product inventory issues, for example. If I want to transfer from inventory, yes, no, yes, it's infinite. If I import it like that, it requires me like infinite won't be out of stock. I can also say, there are 120 units, 340 units, and so on and so forth, and I can import whatever I want. And let's say this will obviously create a limited quantity of 120 of inventory, 340 units, and review before importing and make it clear that I can create a product with the father and the child, and this product must repeat the name, and it must have variations after the father. And its features are that the size, the color, the size must be different, and they can't be repeated because it won't let you import it. And each option obviously must be different from the other options, and they will be grouped. And remember that these are all separate products that are grouped under the same parent product, and we have details and new visibility, and we deal directly from the parent, and we deal with inventory from here as well, but we can deal through variations, and we can manage categories from the parent, and it doesn't apply to options. And for IG that doesn't apply here, it will be adopted. From the father, the price is not applicable to the father. Each option will be applied. In this case, I've chosen a very complex product that has a lot of variety. We've also added the price of this list. Sorry, this one isn't here. This one goes in list 1, okay? As you can see, it's easy to make mistakes, so you should do it step by step. I would proceed very cautiously and tell them to try making a few changes first. Run them, see how it works, and then follow the gradual progress until they can handle it quickly. If the product doesn't have variations, well, I don't know which one it is because there are so many, but we're going to create one. We're going to add options here. I'm flying too high. Let's get back here. So I'm going to create a simple product now with no variance. I'm going to enter the code, enter the name. Here we're going to enter the name of the test product. We're not going to sell options because we said this is a unique product. So there are no options. We're going to have a description. This is a detailed description. Visible, yes. New, yes. Stock. Can I put stock? I'm going to enter a stock. I have 150 units. And a category, I'm going to create it. I can do this by copying one of the categories that already exists, or I can create a new category. Be very careful because if I want to write a category that already exists, I'll use uppercase or lowercase letters that are different from what you see here. Will generate another category. The system will create the category and assign the product to that category, so be careful. I'm going to create a new category, call test. I'm also going to generate a subcategory. How do I do that? Let's capitalize it so it looks better. Test, and put the space arrow forward. As you can see above, this is what we called the category test, and create subcategories. Let's put the sales in. And also I have to set a price that will be included in the total price. We give 500 pesos I can give you a quote. If I want to promote 300, what should I do? Okay, we have seen how to create products. I can delete other products that I don't want to sell anymore. I deleted them. I won't delete this one because I don't want to lose it, but it is possible. I can create simple products or complex products, edit, create, and delete. Let's see how to import this file. First of all, copy the URL, that is, the URL generated by this table. There can't be others here. I want to explain to you that you are going to, many people who are engaged in gold mining, use Excel. External reasons, because it is related to other problems. You can paste another Excel file, but be very careful with the format because if you paste it only in a simple format. Whatever, don't format when you paste it because if you paste it with formatting, it could be putting forward conditions that any system will not accept. For example, in the price section, the price of the product, you came up with a comma that doesn't work. The product must use a period as a decimal separator. It's all explained clearly. Stay calm. Have access, so you can see it in the file specifications. They also have it online. There is a file that explains all the fields. I'll leave it in the description so that whoever you need can directly access the sample file and review this, and that way you won't have any more questions. Once it's explained, as we said, we copy the file. It has to be the same table that was created before. Yes. It can't be something else. They can't copy it, nothing. They only study this. If you need to create another one later, you can create it. If you want to create a copy, you can create a copy. If they are worried that something will go wrong, they can go back with the backup copy. It would be a really good idea if I say now, okay, give me another copy just in case. Before I import, I can do. Say, okay, this is going to be a copy. Let's put the copy here. And when it's good, when it's finished generating, I can do it. Go back here. I'm going to copy this URL and paste it here. Now the import button is visible. I can do this by clicking here. The import is going to be executed. The import has run. This is very quick, a minute at most. You can click update and see if everything went well. It will tell you what it tells me. If you find any problems, such as duplicate code, then he tells you, you can't take this code, it's duplicated, correct it. You have to come back. I want to explain this to you. Since the sheet is already there and the button is activated, the sheets are the same, the routes are the same, whether I think I have some mistakes or I made some mistakes or I need to make any changes, just come back here and I can change it and it can say, no, the last is 170. This is automatically saved. Here, I import it again. So I waited a few seconds, or depending on how big it is, it could take longer, but the same import has been successfully updated changes. Now, how do we see these changes? Our system is very flexible as far as the product is concerned. It will load all the information and then generate the changes made for a purchase or a single change. It will not completely change all the prices. Now that the price has changed, what can I do to see it? If a customer comes in, he will see what has been modified. But for fast navigation, we have to do a refresh. We'll start from now on, we'll see the changes. We notice that the test product that I created appears here. In addition to the other changes that we made, for example, remember here, if we remember this product, let's see how these changes are reflected in the system. We're here. We came in and we're told that some items are out of stock. Let's see if it matches. For example, Ian EH 99. We entered 120. Matches, yes, Lean has 120. And this one, 909. Let's take a look at that too. 909. 340 units, 340. Basically, everything is applied. And I said out of stock to those people. They will notify the customers who need it through the out-of-stock notification button who want to subscribe. We will also see the new product that we created. The new product that we created has no image because it's a new message. So I need to be able to cut the image and then add it by entering the product. I have everything loaded. Notice that the sales test category has been created. I can also use it. Here we'll show the test sales of the related products viewed by category. Everything has been created, and among them, I need to make this product visible because all the data is already configured. Now all I have to do is add the image. Now let's see what has happened to the previous product price list. Now let's look at the same product in the price list. The price for the dealer is the same price that we charge here. So we can do any type of import edit. Create or delete products. Now let's look at if we can add multiple products in one import for manufacturing, new collections, and many items. Obviously, you're going to add them here just like we did with the other one. You're importing, but they don't have any photos, so you're going to import those photos in bulk. We'll see that in the next episode. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, now let's look at how to batch import product photos. In this case, I'm just going to make one so as not to make it complicated, and this is the image missing test product that we created in the import of the bulk. And if we look here first, we can filter to see which are the products that I don't have photos of, so that gives us more access. Quickly, what I'm going to do is see what the product code is. In this case, I'm going to copy the code, and now what I'm going to do is put the photo folder together. How do I put that together? It's very simple. First, I'm going to create a photo folder. In that photo folder, there are photos of that product that I've collected. I'm going to create a new folder with the name of exactly that code. Inside the folder name, I will put the images of that product. You can bring these images from anywhere, which is completely understandable. So I can go on to all the other folders that have photos of the products. If the photos of the product also have forgiveness, variations, what you need to do is, in this product it has no variations, so these photos will not be made public. Now we will see it. But if I have a choice, I have to put the variation code inside the name of each photo so that the product will be added to the general products where applicable and where applicable. Once this is over, what I am going to do is I am going to go into my folder and zip it like a zip archive. So that the folder is ready, now I go into my system. I open the tools. Under all the tools, now we will see a big growth. We have a lot of image importers. It asks us to provide a zip file, zip only. I'm going to select that and look at, when I upload it, all the images. In this case, if there's only one, it'll tell me if it matches the product. If it's empty here, it means the product wasn't found. The folder code is wrong or it doesn't match any product. If it matches, like in this case, it'll add it to me here. It'll tell me that I can import 4 images to this product. We just click here, it'll generate a massive import. You have to wait. Based on the size, I recommend not making giant files. Or they use images that are optimized for the web, because if not, our system has to optimize them, and that's going to take longer. If you need something done faster, optimized for the web, the website must be no more than 500 kilobits per image. But okay, see if you can do better and not upload the file. Gigabytes. So it won't take you long because you won't know when it's finished because it's running in the background so you can work. And In this case, since we're only uploading one photo, it's going to be really fast. So now I'm going to go back to my product list and see what I'm going to do next is refresh. And once I refresh, you'll see it's gone because I have the filter for products without photos, whether you already have this photo or not. And now we're going to put them all in and the photo will appear inside the product. This test product is now available in the store. And if we go to the products, the test product, we find all the images in the general section. Where did you put the images? I'll go back to this section. If we look at this product and see that it's a test product, the images are generally those photos. If I need it, there are options. We remembered that in the code options, there must be a code for each image and associate it with the option code so that we can make bulk imports super easy and save money. Spending a lot of time uploading photos one by one. Okay, now let's take a look at a simpler and faster tool. Change price, also found in the tools. Big price update, big price increase, super simple. You enter the percentage. It's just the percentage. I can also put the percentage with the decimal if I want. Rounding, what rounding does is, if there is a decimal, it rounds it up. Depending on whether the median is up or down, the BAS will round up or down. For example, if the price is 100, the price 100 plus 60 is equal to 101. If it's 100 plus 30, it will put 100 in. It will always round to the nearest number. I'm going to activate it, and I'm going to increase the overall price. This doesn't differentiate between categories. It applies to all categories. If you want to do something, there's no way around. You have to use the batch importer that we saw earlier. This is for quick changes, for quick increases. I accept. The price is executed. I'm going to go to the product page, and now we will see all the price changes in the update. That's it. I already have 10% off. After rounding, please note that there are no decimals in the price, so that we can use the importer if we have any emergency situations that we need to deal with. Then this will be huge. Okay, that's the end of the training. I hope that this has been useful to you, that you have learned what you need. You can always come back. Remember, you have the chat history. By integrating artificial intelligence into your admin, where you can ask any question you want, the interaction follows this system, and it will help you a lot. For other queries, if we are unable to assist you and you are also on our WhatsApp support channel, without further ado, I wish you all the best and hope we continue to grow together. Bye.